myself. My name is Andy. I hope you guys are doing great. Today, I will share with you on a legitimate financial product in its category of its own, where you will not find any other competitors ever in the whole wide world. Yes, you heard me right. It is currently the only one in the world. Now, for information, I will be mainly focusing to deliver all the amazing information to you. Along the way, if you have any questions, put in the chat box and our team will answer them for you. All right. Now, can I get an agreement that gold requires no introduction? It's a yes or yes. To prove that, let's do a quick 5 second survey. I will do a countdown and you put your responses into the chat. Will that be okay for you? All right. Okay, now here comes the question. When the word gold is mentioned, what comes to mind? I repeat, when the word gold is mentioned, what comes to mind? Put your answer into the chat box now. All right, counting down 5 seconds from now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Okay. Awesome. I'm seeing a lot of responses. Basically, all of you are correct because that is how you associate gold. Basically, it is the value of gold that you put into your mind. Now, importantly is why gold? All right, why it is so important? Now, if you look at the graphical illustration in terms of the value of our currency versus gold, it is clear that the currency, in terms of the value, is unable to keep up with the rising cost of living in the past 20 years. Do you agree that 20 years ago, 40 ringgit Malaysia will get us about 40 bowls of noodle? That is an average of about 1 ringgit per bowl. Of course, fast forward today, the same 40 ringgit Malaysia only gives us about 8 bowls of noodle. That is an average of 5 ringgit Malaysia per bowl. All right, in other words, that is inflation. From 1 ringgit per bowl up to 5 ringgit per bowl. That is an increase of 500% in our cost of living. Okay, now if we compare 20 years ago, 1 gram of gold is valued at about 40 ringgit Malaysia as well. But you see, gold is different because fast forward today, it has appreciated by 600%. All right. Now imagine if 20 years ago we were to convert 40,000 ringgit Malaysia to hold 1 kilogram worth of gold, then fast forward today, that same 1 kilogram worth of gold is now about 240,000 ringgit Malaysia, because the value of gold has appreciated by about 600% in 20 years. So now, do you agree that gold is a good hedge against inflation? Yes or yes? If you agree, type into the chat box now. Okay, thank you. Well, frankly, I think most people would associate gold as jewelry gold, isn't it? For information, there are two types of gold. Number one, jewelry gold, and number two, pure physical gold. The difference is in the mechanism on its pricing and importantly, its purity. As you can see, the higher the purity, the more pricier it will be. Of course, regardless of its purity, I would say majority of us would at least have an ownership to any form of gold. Agree? Now, of course, but as a gold buyer, it is important to buy the right type of gold. All the successful people in the world would definitely buy the purest form of gold, which is 99.9% in its purity. Now, even central banks around the world is already accumulating more gold. So, looking at this current slide, what would be your choice? Number one, all right, gold jewelry products, or number two, pure physical gold products. Well, basically, there is no right or wrong. It is just a preference. Pick your choice and respond into the chat by putting one or two. What would be your choice? Okay, all right. Of course, it will be a wiser choice to go with number two. That is pure physical gold products. It is even much better, all right, with what we have to share with you. Okay, because today we will share with you the only physical gold product concept in the world. So stay tuned, all right? Make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Well, I'm sure you might be wondering, who are we? Right, first and foremost, I am a representative from Eon Management. That is my company. We are a global gold investment management company. We had generated 80 million ringgit Malaysia in sales revenue for the recent 6 months. Okay, now, well, our platform, Quantuam Metal, was established in 2012 with a paid up capital of 10 million, okay, in a paid up capital, which is one of the largest gold bullion distributors in Malaysia, dealing with, of course, right, this is very important, okay, dealing with government agencies, banks, as well as financial institutions. Whereas our source of gold is the Perth Mint, Australia. They are Australia's official gold mint, which is fully owned by the government of Western Australia. Of course, the gold purity and weight is 100% guaranteed by them. Okay, there you go. Now, you are looking at an official authorization letter issued by Quantuam Metal to Eon Management. As you can see, it is stated that Quantuam Metal is hereby honored to appoint and declare Eon Management as its authorized mandate partner. In other words, Eon Management is Quantuam Metal's marketing arm, which is why you are here today. Okay. Now, next, this is an official appointment letter issued by the Perth Mint, Australia to Quantuam Metal. This official letter is to certify that Quantuam Metal is an official authorized distributor of the Perth Mint with exclusive rights in Malaysia. Okay, this letter is also available on Quantuam Metal's official website, yeah, for information, which is www.quantummetal.com. All right. Furthermore, as a validation, the Perth Mint Australia's official website stated also that Quantuam Metal is the authorized distributor in Malaysia. Now, of course, talking about more validation, well, is Quantuam Metal reliable? Let's talk about a validation from Astro, our Malaysian satellite television and IPTV provider. Heard of Astro Channel 114? Well, it is a state-owned Malaysian free-to-air Islamic television channel that is owned by the Ministry of Islamic Affairs Malaysia. Okay. Now, under this channel, there is a program known as Tijarah and Islamic Finance Channel. In February 2021, this program has given Quantuam Metal a huge validation because the host, which is Shabana Hassan, the world's top 50 women in Islamic business and finance, actually interviewed Dr. Tuan Badro Hisham, Tuan So, right, the guest speaker, all right, a Sharia auditor or advisor from ISRA Consulting to discuss about gold investments in Malaysia. Of course, for information, ISRA Consulting was established by Bank Negra's subsidiary company, that is ISRA, and of course, ISRA Consulting are registered with Securities Commission Malaysia. Okay, now later I will share with you the role that ISRA Consulting is playing in Quantuam Metal. Of course, coming back to the interview itself, a lot has been discussed, especially the biggest landmark gold investment scam in Malaysia, which is Geneva. I'm sure some of you might have heard of it. Well, some of you might not, yeah? Okay. So, of course, now today when we talk about this, for those who are unsure, Basic Geneva is selling physical gold at 30 to 40% higher than the market rate. And they are offering a 2 to 3% monthly interest back to their investors, regardless on whether the gold price goes up or down. Well, sounds too good to be true already, isn't it? How is that even possible to be giving a promised return of 2 to 3% money regardless of the gold price movement? Okay, now, of course, what I want to tell you is this, right? At the end of today's session, I will be able to show all of you the necessary validation to prove that Quantuam Metal is a legit entity operating in Malaysia that is in accordance to the requirements and standards allowed in the country. Okay, now, as a summary, Dr. Tuan Badrul Hisham Tuan So actually concluded that Quantuam Metal offers a genuine range of Sharia compliance gold investment products. Of course, not only that, everyone can own gold, but their gold investment is safe and secure. Now, the question is why safe and secure, right? I will give you more details after this. Okay. Most importantly, Quantuam Metal is a reporting agency to the Bank Negara Malaysia. This means that Bank Negara Malaysia is aware of Quantuam Metal and is actually tracking all their activities. Okay. And of course, as a further validation, even our local banks are getting their gold supplies from Quantuam Metal. Okay, there are quite a number of banks that are basically promoting and selling Quantuam Metal gold products to the public. For example, Bank Muamalat and Affin Bank. So basically, all right, you are dealing with a company that is already dealing with our local banks. All right, can you imagine the level of due diligence that banks has to perform before they decide to work with Quantuam Metal? Even local banks are worried because they are managing Rakyat's money and also because of their reputation, isn't it? All right, now of course over here, Quantuam Metal is the gold supplier to Bank Muamalat. You are now looking at the terms and conditions published by Bank Muamalat on Muamalat Gold Eye. Okay, of course, the website, it's actually mentioned so that you can see over here as well that gold supply means Quantuam Metal. All right, next. Well, Quantuam Metal is the gold supplier to Affin Bank as well. You are looking again at the terms and conditions published by Affin Bank on Affin Emas I product. All right, this is basically taken from their website. As you can see, it is actually published on their website. The link is there for you to see. And well, again, in this term and condition, it's stated that, well, the gold supplier means Quantuam Metal. Okay, all right. Of course, with validations done, here comes the interesting part. First, of course, we have GSA, which is gold storage account. This is where you can buy 999.9 physical gold. You can have the choice for redemption by walking into any 8 branches nationwide to do the collection, or alternatively, have it stored with Quantum Metal, and of course, it is provided complimentary to you. In case you want it to be delivered to you, then of course, there will be a fully insured courier services available to you as well. Now, basically, this is what our local banks are promoting to the public. Next is GCA Gold Convert Account. As long as you have gold in your GSA account, then you can pledge your gold to Quantum Metal and withdraw cash up to 75 of the gold value that you have in GSA. This GCA facility is available with an annual management fee of 3.5%, or in other words, interest rate. Okay. The beauty of gold convert account is that the amount of gold that is pledged to Quantum Metal still belongs to you. Okay. By the time you finish paying for the cash conversion or the cash advance, then most likely the gold price would have already appreciated more than enough to cover for the amount of interest that you have paid for the cash advance or cash conversion facility. Amazing, isn't it? Well, of course, if you feel that both GSA and GCA is amazing, then guess what? Wait until you hear this next one, which is GAE 10X, or better known as, of course, Gold Asset Enhanced 10X. This is by far the most mind-blowing gold product offering in the market, the only one in the world. Because you can actually own 10 times the amount of gold when you pay only 10%. All right, interesting, isn't it? This means 90% balance is financed to you with an annual management fee of 3.5%. Well, the exact same concept to buying a property. Okay, it's similar. Just that GAE 10X is for gold, currently the only one in the world. Now, there are two things to take note. Number one, although 90% is financed to you, but you are not required to pay for the finance amount, simply because in exchange, the gold value that you have is kept with Quantum Metal until you decide to sell. Number two, the first year management fee is paid upfront together with the 10% payment. Second year onwards, it is deferred until you decide to sell. The best part about management fee is that it can be prorated and refundable. All right, you heard me right. Okay, refundable. For example, after you bought GAE 10X, the price of gold went up, like say 3 months. Okay, and then you decide to sell. Okay, when you sell, definitely you sell it for profit, isn't it? So this means the unused balance of 9 months is prorated and refunded back to you. Okay, that is the beauty of GAE 10X. Okay. Now, to understand further, Quantum Metal is only offering LBMA certified 999.9 gold products. Hey, remember when Tuan Badro Hisham Tuan So, okay, he actually mentioned that, Quantum Metal in terms of the product they actually offer is safe and secure. Okay, it is because all physical gold products are stored with rings, one of the world's highest gold standards. Okay, and the physical gold in rings are all 100% insured by Lloyd's of London. The best part of buying with quantum metal is that there will be a 100% buyback guarantee. You don't have to look for a buyer. Okay, it's pretty simple. Now, quantum metal will buy it back from you. All you need to do is to perform a few simple clicks in your personal online global gold account to get it done instantly. Okay. Now, most importantly, all quantum metals gold products are audited by ISRA Consulting. That is the role of ISRA Consulting in quantum metal. They make sure that all the gold products offered by quantum metal are Sharia compliant, which are all backed by real physical gold. Now again, if you miss it the first time, ISRA Consulting was established by Bank Negara's subsidiary company ISRA. And of course, ISRA Consulting is a registered member of Securities Commission Malaysia. Okay. Now, of course, as a proof that all the gold kept in rings are fully insured, this is Brink's yearly insurance renewal statement year 2021. Okay. ED Broking LLP is a client representative sanctioned by Lloyd's to negotiate insurance for their clients. At the end of each page, the name Lloyd is stated. Okay, as you can see, okay, it is stated that the coverage is for a limit of liability of 10 million US dollars of property. Currently, for an example, okay, for your understanding, 1 kilogram of gold is worth about over 50,000 US dollars. If you do a calculation based on the sum insured of 10 million US dollars, then the coverage is enough based on the gold price is enough to cover over 700 kilograms of physical gold bars. Okay, well, fun fact for you, if you are unsure how significant 700 kilograms of physical gold bar is, then let me give you a comparison. 700 kilograms of gold bar is 1/3 of Hong Kong's central bank's gold reserve. For information, the Central Bank of Hong Kong has about 2.1 tons of gold reserves. Okay, this should give you an idea of how much fundamental insured their gold that is kept in rings on behalf of you. Okay, well, of course, this is just page one, and there's another page to share. All right. In this page, you will see that this insurance certificate is issued to Quantum Metal Sdn Bhd. Okay. Now, another validation done. For information, this insurance renewal statement is also available on Quantum Metal's website, which is www.quantummetal.com. Okay. Obviously, what I want to show you next is this as a validation to show you that, well, ISRA Consulting is actually registered with Securities Commission Malaysia. And of course, this is a statement, all right, published by ISRA Consulting on their website, okay, that actually mentioned about quantum metal as well. And of course, this is the parent company of ISRA Consulting, which is ISRA. Okay, ISRA is an International Sharia Research Academy that was established in 2008 by Bank Negara Malaysia. Of course, as you can see, it is highlighted in the red box, so you can see clearly. Okay. Now, let's look at this table. Price of gold is just an assumption. Okay. Now, assuming the price of 1 kilogram of gold is 260,000 ringgit Malaysia. Again, this is an assumption. You only pay 10%. That is about 26,000 ringgit Malaysia. Correct? While of course the balance of a 90%, that is 234,000 ringgit Malaysia, is financed to you. Now, the first year management fee is about 8,000, over 8,000 ringgit Malaysia. So, which means you only pay about 34,000 ringgit Malaysia to hold 1 kilogram worth of gold that is valued at 260,000 ringgit Malaysia. Isn't that amazing? All right, you only pay 10% together with the, of course, upfront first year of management fee. You are able to hold 1 kilogram worth of 1 kilogram worth of gold. Okay, now for information, when it comes to gold asset enhanced or even GAE, it is offered in units. So when you buy 1 kilogram worth of gold, you need to choose 25 units because each unit will give you about 40 plus grams worth of gold. So, of course, if you wish to buy 500 grams worth of gold, then you will need to select about 13 units of GAE. That's about half of the 1 kilogram in terms of units, right? Because 1 kilo is about 25 units. Okay, so I hope that is clear to you. Yeah, of course, remember, doesn't matter whether it's 1 kilo or even 500 grams, you only need to pay 10% of the value. Okay, now having said that, GAE is a powerful tool that you could actually use to boost your gold holdings by 10 times. That is the power of GAE, and well, the only gold financing product in the world. All right. Now, as for the projected profit, for an example, when you invest in 1 kilogram worth value worth of gold, your capital, of course, again is only 10%. All right, which is 26,000. Okay. Now, if the price of gold appreciated by 5%, all right, look at the roll says 5%, then of course the gross profit will be 13,000. Okay, that is 50% of your capital. 50%. Makes sense? Well, if it goes higher to 10%, then the gross profit is 26,000. Okay, look at the another row, we say 10%. Okay, and you get to see the gross profit is 26,000. That is 100% in terms of gross profit for you, because again you only pay 10%, which is 26,000, right? Now that is the power of gold asset enhance, because you get to multiply the value of your profit by 10 times. That is what GAE 10x means. Okay, amazing, right? Now, just in case you are still wondering, right? GAE is actually not complicated. Okay, you do not actually have to confuse yourself. I've mentioned it earlier, it is actually similar, all right, to you buying or investing in a real property. In which you see for property is the same, you pay 10% and 90% is financed to you by a bank. Of course, with an annual interest rate. So again, do not confuse yourself. It is very straightforward. It is not a rocket science. Although GAE is similar to buying a property, but for GAE, you are not required to pay for the financing amount because you are already paying for the management fee, and that is already sufficient in the point of view of quantum metal. All right. For example, you see a very simple, the value of gold is 1 million ringgit Malaysia. You pay 10%, right? The balance of 90% is financed to you, of course, exactly just like buying a property. And then, of course, you need to pay for the 3.5% management fee, okay? Which is on the amount that is financed to you. But again, you're not required to pay for the finance amount, the 90%, which is about 900,000 ringgit Malaysia. Okay, can understand? It's pretty simple, right? It's pretty straightforward. There will be no complication. Okay, this is something that is not foreign to you anymore. It's just that now you get to see it in gold. Okay. Low flexibility of buying and selling, and of course very time consuming with all its procedures as well. And that is why it is impossible for us to be buying property or even selling it every single day. All right. Now, of course, with quantum metal, we can buy and sell gold every day because there is a flexibility to buy in a lower quantity of gold. And it is very accessible too because it is a global platform. Everything is done securely online. All you need to do is just log into your personal global online Go account to get your transactions done securely via FPX payment gateway. Okay. Now, for information, FPX payment gateway is managed by PayNet, a subsidiary company of Bank Negara Malaysia. Okay. Now, to avoid confusion, let's make it super duper clear. Okay, crystal clear. Right. Now, of course, depending on the amount of gold you wish to invest, now, in terms of the calculation of management fee of 3.5%, it is basically calculated based on the 90% financing amount. Is that clear? For an example, again, let's use back the 1 kilogram for as an example to understand management fee. 1 kilogram, of course, is a value assumption, 260,000 ringgit Malaysia. You pay the 10%, correct? That is 26,000. And the balance of 90% is financed to you, which is 234,000. Well, the management fee is calculated based on the 90% financing that's given to you. If you do the calculation, then of course it is about 8,190. Okay, that is actually the exact figure. All right. Now, of course, that means you pay a total of 34,190 to hold 1 kilogram worth of gold. Okay, that is worth 260,000 ringgit Malaysian. Now, again, 34,000 to hold 260,000 worth in terms of value of gold in your account. Isn't it amazing? Okay. Now, of course, remember, in terms of this management fee, second year onwards, it will be deferred until you decide to sell. Okay, so which is when you decide to sell, you sell it for profit, and subsequently, depending on how long you're actually using it, right, it will be deducted accordingly. Okay, it will be prorated and deduct from your profit, of course, in a prorated manner. Okay, pretty simple, straightforward, no complication, right? Now, the question here is, what happens when gold price drops, right? All right, now over here, if this happens, it is very simple. It is actually very straightforward as well. Just like when you buy or invest in a property, when the price of the property drop, okay, it means it is just a drop in terms of valuation, in terms of its market value. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, nothing else. You're not supposed to even do anything, right? Now, of course, so similarly over here, when the gold price drops, it is just a drop in valuation of the gold value that you are holding. That doesn't actually change the weight of gold that you are holding. Make sense? Which also means that 1 kilo still remains 1 kilogram. The weight doesn't reduce. So rule number one, just hold on and do nothing. All right. I don't think you would actually sell your property just because the market value drop, isn't it? All right. It is the same with GAE 10X. Okay. Now, rule number two, it is only makes sense that you should be even much more excited, okay, to buy more cheaper gold. Now, do you remember in March, right, 2021, it was reported on the news that people were queuing up under the hot sun for hours just to buy more cheaper gold when the gold price dropped. Okay, so you see, because I'm sure you already know, or people already know why they are doing it, is because gold is actually a valuable asset. So when the price is actually lower, it's cheaper, it only makes sense for you to buy even more. Okay, agree? Yes, I'm sure you would agree. Okay. Now, so as a confirmation that of course our gold investment concept is similar to buying or investing in a property. Right now, over here, Quantuam Metal has actually officially declared that there will be no top-ups required when the gold price drops. Okay, now very simple. Let's think for a moment, right, ladies and gentlemen. If you invest in a property and the price drop, does the bank call you to do any top-up? All right, let me repeat. Okay, if you invest in a property and the price drops, does the bank actually call you to do any top-ups? I think the answer is a straight no. All right, it will be ridiculous if they do, right? Because you are already paying for the monthly installment together with the interest. Okay, so to be fair, right, I think they will only call you when you didn't pay for the monthly installment, correct? Other than that, they will not even be bothered at all, right? So first, coming back to a GAE 10X, it is exactly the same. So why would Quantuam Metal call you to top up when you are already paying for the first year management fee upfront already? And you're paying upfront. It's just like you deposit to them upfront. Okay, now take Quantuam Metal the first year and then you deduct, okay, every day from there as the interest as the day goes by. Okay, it's very straightforward. Now, of course, when you sell your gold for profit, your funds will be credited directly by Quantuam Metal into your bank account. All right, you are actually looking at an actual transaction of one of our clients, our happy client. The fund is credited by Quantuam Metal to the bank account directly. Now, for information, when you sell, your funds will be credited into your bank account directly within 1 to 5 working days. Okay. Now, so far, most of our clients receive their funds within an average of 1 to 2 working days only. All right. It is just an expectation anyway. Okay. Of course, we have shown you a bank statement. That only shows that GAE 10X is a unique gold investment concept that is second to none in the world. Again, the keyword is this, the only one in the world. This is an actual result of one of our happy clients. Nearly 35% of ROI in 3 weeks. Okay. Now, of course, having said that, results shown are not typical. Individual results may vary because we are unable to control the world gold price. And there are a lot of factors actually affecting the gold price. So over here, there are no guarantees. That's why, you see, earlier on, I did mention about Geneva. So over here, you see, there are no guarantees, all right? Because everything is depending on the fluctuation of gold price. Now, when I say fluctuation of gold price, which also means, all right, the valuation of the gold that you actually have in your account, that's all, right? It depends on, of course, whether the price goes up or goes down. Simple, okay? So there are no guarantees over here. Now, of course, here's a snapshot of an active account. This client made 3 purchases in March. Look at the profit percentage. That is an average of nearly 40% in less than 1 year. Amazing, all right? As a matter of fact, if you look at it, this could be you as well, okay? Now, the return definitely is so much more better than the performance of FD law, okay, if you actually look at it, right? Of course, over here, there's another example to show you 3 separate transactions between February and March for this particular client. Profit of up to 30% within 5 to 6 months. Isn't this amazing? All right. So like I said, think for a moment, this could actually be you. All right. Now, the amazing part about GAE 10X is that you could actually take advantage of the financing facility to multiply your profit by 10 times. Now, if you really think for a moment, right, this is basically what the wealthy people would do. They usually leverage on the platform to make the most of it. And now, okay, you've got an opportunity to do exactly the same with this, okay, which is GAE 10X. Of course, with us, Eon Management, we are actually using Eon for You system. We have this system in place, an automated profit tracking system to monitor your purchases, allowing you peace of mind because we know gold is not your only investment, isn't it? Okay. Now, of course, our Eon for You system will automatically notify you via SMS when your gold purchases appreciate 15% or more. Okay. Now, do take note that Eon for You system is available to you if you have a holdings of about 500 grams and above in your account at any point of time. For information, you are always in full control of your account, your purchases, okay? All right, you can buy and sell at your convenience because it is your personal online global gold account which is accessible worldwide. I hope that makes sense. Now, all right, you see, having said all this, let's get some burning questions answered, shall we? You see, I'm sure after all the information, I'm sure some of you have questions to ask. Okay, perhaps you're unsure and you needed more answer. Now, of course, in this section, I've prepared some of the most commonly asked questions to go through with you. Okay, of course, all right, after this, if you have questions, right, any questions that you have, please put in the chat box and our team will answer them for you. Okay, important is to be clear. All right, now let's get started, shall we? All right, first question is who is Eon Management? Well, again, we are a global gold investment management company that is set out with the sole objective to provide top-notch gold investment management services for local as well as international clients from different regions all over the world. Well, basically that's what we do to service each and every one of you. All right. Now, number 2, who is Quantuam Metal? Right? Who is Quantuam Metal? Basically, Quantuam Metal is the gold platform provider of Eon Management. Established in 2012 with a paid-up capital of 10 million, all right, ringgit Malaysia, and is one of the largest gold bullion distributors in Malaysia. Again, dealing with government agencies, banks, I've already shown you, of course, and financial institutions. All right, next. What type of gold does Quantuam Metal supply? Quantum Metal offers 99.99% investment grade gold products supplied by the Perth Mint, Australia, well, which is 100% owned by the government of Western Australia. All right, now the Perth Mint is certified by the London Bullion Market Association, which is LBMA, as a qualified world-class gold refinery. This means that Quantum Metal only offers to promote or to offer the highest quality gold products to you. Okay, so rest assured quality, right? Now, the next question is, how do I know my gold is genuine? Okay, well, Quantum Metal's gold supplier is, I've already mentioned, the Perth Mint, Australia. It is 999.9 or 99.9% LBMA certified. Okay, the physical assistance of all customers' own precious metal has been stored in bricks and audited by ISRA Consulting. Okay, remember ISRA Consulting, right? The Sharia advisor. Now, next is how can I ensure that my gold transaction records are safe? Okay, all Quantum Metal's gold trading records are independently audited by who? ISRA Consulting again. And just in case over here, ISRA Consulting is owned by ISRA, a subsidiary of Bank Negara Malaysia, and is registered. All right, ISRA Consulting is registered with the Securities Commission Malaysia. Okay, I've mentioned this a couple of times already. Next, how do I know my gold stored is safe? Now, you see, by holding an account with Quantum Metal, your gold will be safely secured and safe in a gold vault, which is Brinks. Well, Brinks has safeguarded valuables since 1859, that is, well, with 150 years of experience. Okay, now Brinks offers the utmost quality of service and sets the market standard. Okay. And of course, when we talk about this question, who provide insurance services for gold customers? Well, it's pretty simple. That is Lloyd's of London, the premium insurance provider, and 100% guarantee all the golds that is kept in Brinks. Of course, I already mentioned earlier in terms of the yearly renewal statement, Quantum Metal has actually insured of about 10 million USD in the value of the property of gold. Okay, there is, again, remember, 700 kilogram worth of gold that's been insured. That is 1/3 of Hong Kong Central Bank's gold reserve. All right. Now, the next one is who will repurchase the gold I bought at Quantum Metal? Well, Quantum Metal provides a 100% buyback guarantee for all gold products sold to their clients. All right, so you have a guarantee as well in this part. Right? So next, through Eon Management, is my account at Quantum Metal the same as my bank account? Your Quantum Metal account is similar, of course, to a bank account, but your QM account holds gold as a currency. All right, that's the beauty of it. And the gold currency can be used for, well, number one, purchase other gold products of Quantum Metal, definitely. Number two, exchange for cash, which also means that you are able to actually do a cashing out, importantly, and to be credited it into your bank account. Okay, that is very important at the end of the day, right? So next, is Quantum Metal's gold Sharia compliant? Definitely, all right. Now, Quantum Metal's gold is certified Sharia compliant by ISRA Consulting. Well, ISRA Consulting is established by ISRA, a wholly owned subsidiary company of Bank Negara Malaysia. All operations are, well, in terms of its processes, are in line with the Sharia standard on gold. Basic Quantum Metal meets two very important standards or conditions. Okay, number one, it is backed by physical gold. Okay, it is not paper gold over here. All right, I hope that makes sense. And of course, the process of buying and selling physical gold is completed in the time allowed by the Sharia standard. This means when you buy, transactions are all recorded properly. Okay, this is not a fund collection or a collection of funds or gathering of funds. Okay, matter of fact, payments are all done securely via FPX payment gateway. All right, it is a payment gateway, not fund collection gateway. Okay, now again, FPX payment gateway is managed by PayNets, a subsidiary company of Bank Negara Malaysia. I hope that is clear. All right, next, interesting. If your management closes down, would I get my money back? Think for a moment. Your management do not even actually collect any funds from you because we are a marketing arm of Quantuam Metal, and all the payment is done via FPX payment gateway, remember, and is directed directly to Quantuam Metal for a transaction. So basically, all transactions are mainly, of course, through this network FPX, and well, so transactions are all definitely safe and secure. Okay, and of course, another level of question. All right, if Quantuam Metal closes down, would I get my money back? The answer is yes. Right, if something happens to Quantuam Metal, your gold in Brings Gold Walk will still be your goal. Okay, it will be recorded accordingly. And of course, well, if that happens, in which Quantuam Metal, well, something happened to them, the company liquidator will sell the gold, deduct the necessary admin fees, and return the cash value to you according to the market price on the day of sale. Okay, simple. So yes, you are protected all the time. Now, next question is, where is your management located? Well, your management is actually at Penang's financial hub area, surrounded by banks, Georgetown area. Okay, and well, we welcome you once the pandemic situation actually eases up, right? You can actually visit us if you wish to. Well, the address is for you to see. Okay. Now, next question is, where is Quantuam Metal located? Well, Quantuam Metal's head office is in Penang as well. It is very near to the first Penang Bridge. Of course, apart from that, Quantuam Metal has a corporate office in Shah Alam, Selangor. This is where they deal with all the big corporates such as banks, financial institutions, and of course, not to forget government agencies. Other than that, Quantuam Metal has another office in Johor Bahru. All right. Now, again, if you have questions, put into the chat box and our team will get it answered for you. All right. There are no right or wrong question. All right. Just put in the chat to get it cleared if you have any questions at all. Right?